Welcome back to my channel, guys. For those of you who are new, I'm the marketing nomad. Alright, so at some point in our lives, I'm pretty sure that we have successfully found out a potential threat to our crush and stalked them. We have hopped onto their Facebook account, found out their likes, dislikes, hopped onto their Instagram, trying to see if, maybe there's some interaction with our crush over there. And we've also come up with a list of conclusions based off of those profiles. So I'm pretty sure we've all done this at some point. So competitor analysis is sort of like that, except probably without the restraining order. Yep. So today we're going to be discussing how to analyze your competition and how to just basically better your marketing strategy based off of your competition. Alright guys, without further ado, let's get right to it. Okay, so the first thing to do is basically figure out who exactly your competition is. Now, your competition can actually be divided into three groups: your primary competition, your secondary competition, and your tertiary competition. Now let's kind of get into what each of these mean. Your primary competition, as it says, is basically your direct competition. They are companies that are selling the same products as you, they're in the same market as you, and basically you're fighting for your market share with them. Your secondary competition would basically be companies that are not selling your exact products, but your target market kind of overlap. Suppose I sell erasers. My secondary competition would be a company that sells pencils. You kind of get the overlap. It's basically students from the age of, I don't know, maybe say 3 to, I don't know, when did I stop using erasers? I think it was maybe say 18? Okay, so basically that age group is going to be an overlapping target market of both of these companies. The third one is called a tertiary competition, and let me give you an example with it. So we know Tesla. Tesla sells electric cars. And we also know that Apple is looking to get into this electric car space. So for Tesla, Apple is actually going to be a tertiary competition. So basically it is competitors who are not yet in your market, but you know that in the future they are going to be dipping their toes into your market. So you have to keep an eye out for them, and you have to also be aware of their steps and their movements. So that is basically tertiary competition. So making a list of your competition is always a good place to start. And while you're listing your competition, it might actually be helpful to kind of analyze what it is that they offer, what differentiates their products with yours, and maybe try to understand what draws their consumers to them. So make sure this list is as comprehensive as possible. Now we hop on to the next step, and that is basically where the actual stalking begins. Alright, so basically what happens in this stage is that you find wherever they are. Wherever they put their content, wherever their brand presence is, you are going to be finding them all. It's basically like Pokemon. Alright, so you're gonna find social media pages, you're gonna find blogs, you're gonna subscribe to their newsletter, try to see how they're sending out emails. You are also maybe going to take a look at their website. You are also maybe going to take a look at that flyer that they've posted at the entrance of Shop and Stop. All of them, find them all. Alright, so once you actually are here, you have substantial information to understand what differentiates them from you, what is it that they're doing right, what it is that they're doing wrong, and how you can get better than them, or what it is that you are lacking in your marketing strategy. So these are things that you can actually analyze. Now, a pro tip that I do have for you, and this is something that most businesses don't do, is to actually take a look at their ads. Whether it is their social media ads or Google ads, search a few keywords and try to understand when do they show up. So those are things that you can do. Take a look at the keywords that they are using, take a look at their title, their meta description, take a look at the images that they are using. Try to basically find that differentiating factor, try to see where you are lacking, and try to figure out their marketing strategy. Now, suppose your competition is maybe say putting out blogs for potential buyers, people who have not yet bought their products. And it's doing so well. It's going really well with their engagement. People are sharing, people are liking, people are buying more of their products because of those blogs. And then there's you, where your blogs are actually catering to maybe say buyers who have already bought your product and it's not doing so well, like you're not able to connect. Of course, there are a number of factors why that probably is not clicking with them. Probably, your content might not be what they're looking for, all of those stuff. But maybe, just maybe, if you were to maybe say reorganize your blogs and change the target audience to potential buyers, probably it might work because you already have a competitor who is already acing that. So you might as well try that route or try that strategy. So these are ways that you can go about it. Now the same goes for avenues. Where are they present? Is that flyer at the entrance of Shop and Stop working? Are their social media pages working? Maybe LinkedIn's not working really well for them. Maybe Instagram, they're literally blowing up. So these are places that you need to identify, and it will also help you identify what sort of engagement you need to be looking for. Where are the avenues you need to focus as well? At this point, the most important question that you really need to ask yourself is, why is the engagement so high? You need to understand maybe the topics that they're picking, or maybe the language that they're using, the marketing messaging that they're using, or maybe the tone that they're using, the personality that they portray. What exactly is working for that brand? What exactly is working for your competition that you are not doing, and maybe you can incorporate into your marketing strategy. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about three things, and the first thing is pricing, the second thing is website content, and the third thing is social media. So now let's go a little bit into pricing. Now obviously pricing is going to be a huge point of differentiation between you and your competition, and it is one of the things that you really need to analyze at this point. So when you are comparing different pricing, it is important to see if you are pricing your products fairly. A good way to go about this is to kind of analyze what are the product features or the service features that they're offering, what are you offering, and try to find some common ground between them. Now, if you are offering the same kind of products, then it's going to be obviously easier for you to, compare and see if you're pricing fairly. But when it comes to products that are not similar to yours, where there's only a little bit of features that are overlapping, a good way to go about this is to look at the intangible aspects of your products and services. Maybe say you are offering better customer service. Maybe say you are offering a better warranty. These are all intangibles that are worth something to your audience, and you might want to factor in those as well. Now this is a side pro tip. If you're building an email list, always have one email segment that has people who have abandoned your carts. And a good way to kind of interact with them and reach out to them is to ask them why they chose a competitor's product. This will actually help you with your research, and you are also engaging that sect of audience as well. So huge pro tip. Now the second thing I want to talk about is website content. When you take a look at their website, what is it that strikes right out to you? Is it maybe their brand colors or maybe their marketing messaging? What exactly is standing out on their website? Again, you might want to take a look at maybe say what are the lead magnets they're offering on their website. How is it that they are drawing attention to their website? How is it that they're pulling people from maybe say their social media pages to their website? These are all areas that you need to take a look at. Of course, on websites, I do have to probably mention blogs because those come in as well. So I've already talked a little bit about blogs earlier, so that also comes under website content as well. Now, a few questions that you can ask yourself when you are dealing with the website content of competitor analysis is to ask yourself, what exactly is my competition trying to communicate with their audience? Who are they trying to target? Why exactly is their website performing so well? What are the topics that they have listed on their, maybe say their FAQ page, or on their homepage, or on the product page, the product page where you list the products and you basically give a small blurb about each product or each service. So what exactly are they doing there that's so different from yours? And lastly, take a look at their messaging and see what exactly are they trying to sell? What needs are they meeting right over there? So these are a few questions that you can ask yourself when it comes to website content. Now the third aspect, as I told you, was social media. Now, In social media, there is a ton of things that you can do. If you want a separate video on how to analyze your competition on social media specifically, I would be happy to do so. Leave that in the comments below. Okay, so with social media, a few questions that you can take a look at or you can ask yourself is, what are the platforms that are working for them? What exactly are they trying to communicate on these social media pages? Are they just selling the product? Are they giving valuable information? Are they trying to be an industry leader? What sort of relationship do they have with their audience over there? Is it, again, like a mentor-student kind of relationship? Is it that they are trying to build a community? What is the personality of the brand? What is basically the tone that they use? What is resonating with their target audience? Since their target audience is more or less overlapping with yours, you need to understand what sort of tone, personality, messaging resonates really well with your target audience. Now, another point would be to basically analyze what emotions are they creating in your target audience. And maybe you can recreate that same emotion in your target audience as well. Social media, there's actually a lot that you can take a look at and you can kind of get inspired and kind of make tweaks to your own marketing strategy. Other areas that you can maybe analyze would be maybe say their marketing collaterals, their flyers, their brochures. You can also take a look at, as I said, their SEO, their SEM. You can also take a look at maybe say their recruitment. How are the employees at that company? Are they happy? What is the general atmosphere? What is the company culture over there? So there are so many things that you can take a look at, but I would highly recommend just focusing on a few and analyzing your competition because too much can overwhelm you as well. Now the last point is basically trying to understand where they are lacking. And this point is super important because when you identify where they are lacking, that's where you can step in. So trying to identify what are the complaints of their target audience would actually be a really helpful way for you to understand how you can kind of navigate your marketing strategy. Maybe their product packaging lacks in some aspect that you are aware of. What do? Swoop right in and make those changes to your product packaging. So there are so many things that you can analyze just by talking to customers. And that I think is a huge pro tip that I do have for you. As much as possible, keep interacting with customers. Even if they have not bought your product and they've bought a competition, don't write them off. Talk to them, analyze their mindset, try to understand their journey, try to figure out where their mindset was at and what were they looking for when they decided not to go with you and to your competition. So basically, if I want to, nutshell all of this, is that you are at this point understanding what your competition is doing right and what they're doing wrong. And you are looking at every single avenue and trying to analyze these two things basically. And that actually brings me to the end of this video. I hope it was super fun and helpful. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, guys, because that supports me in doing what I love doing. If you've actually stayed on till here, give me a meow in the comments below. Other than that, stay safe, stay healthy. Don't stalk your exes, that's not healthy. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.